Go for it, John.
Welcome to the Couch Co-op Podcast. Today we're kicking things off with a trip down memory lane with this day in gaming history. Next up, get ready to dive into the action-packed world of Helldivers II as we chat about our gaming experiences. Join Dr.Demo as we dissect games in the ultimate gaming autopsy and buy, try, die. Then it's time to shoot the shit with a casual chat about our beat list, what we've been playing, and what everyone else comes to mind. Gather your co-op buddies for some co-optional picks and couch co-optionals. And lastly, put your gaming knowledge to the test with a round of trivia and see if you can emerge victorious. Thank you for joining us on this gaming journey. Let's dive into the action, share some laughs, and celebrate our love for gaming together. The Lord Bierstro Beer Battle starts now.
Couch Co-op is full of douchebags. Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op.
Hello, Couch Co-opers, Couch Potatoes, and Couch Co-opers. This is the Couch Co-op Show, and I promise you, tonight will be a lot more sobering than last night. I'm Ian, and I have Jared, Dave. Surprisingly, Nick is here, and John. Welcome to the couch, everybody.
Wow, John, you only have to say Lord Bistro. It's like you summoned him from the dead.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
like Shazam!
As the moment he said,
You mentioned
Lord
his
Bierstro,
name, and then the icon
bing.
popped up, and it was like, bing, a vision of beauty appeared before us.
I know. Nick organized it all himself, too.
Did he? Wow, surprising. I should have limited it to 4. So you'd be
You know,
sitting there
all-
knocking at the just not. I can't get in.
Yeah.
All that talk about home improvement before the show,
Yeah.
that was all worth it for the timing.
I learned so much.
Oh, so did I.
Mhm.
How's everybody doing?
Doing
Good.
good. Yeah, it's been a chill
Good.
day.
A lot more sober than last night.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, yeah. We don't need to get into that. It was pretty sloppy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Let's see. Let's get to some happening. What happened on this day in gaming history, Jared?
So I'm just kind of doing a quick review of this month since we haven't recorded this month.
Sure.
So I'll start at the beginning of the month and just kind of build up to the end of the month. PS2 was released in Japan on October
Ooh.
on March 4th, rather, in Japan. So it's 24 years old. Came out in October
All right.
in the US.
Sweet.
Super Metroid came out in Japan in 94. It's 30 years old, one of my favorite games. Game Boy Advance was released on the 21st. That's 23 years old. I think most of us probably owned at least one of those. That's quite the console release month. Castlevania Symphony of the Night came out in Japan 27 years ago. Resident Evil, the original, came out 28 years ago. God of War, the original, came out 19 years ago.
Jesus.
Far Cry, the
Oh,
first
yeah.
one, came out 20 years ago on PC. Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Arcade Edition came out 30 years ago. Kirby's Adventures, that's Nick's favorite, came out 31 years ago on NES. PSP launched in 2005, 19 years ago.
Pisp.
The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, I love that game, came out 21 years ago. And on the 27th, Nintendo 3DS came out 13 years ago. Seems like it's longer. And I looked up, the birth of Ubisoft was on the 28th of March, 38 years ago.
Wow.
Man, I've got one more for you. It's kind of related. Jack Kilby of Texas Instruments demonstrated the first integrated circuit 65 years ago. And without
Awesome.
that, we wouldn't have all the toys we had.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Cool.
Texas Instruments. That's a good one.
Thanks for all that, Jared and Dave. So yeah, I had this other episode planned, and we'll get to it eventually. But I thought because surprisingly, two others in the group were pressured into getting Helldivers 2 finally, that maybe we should, and we've been playing it quite a bit, that we should do some more talking about Helldivers 2. So I guess to John and Dave, why'd you guys finally cave? What made you guys cave?
First thing for me is a $40 game. That like I know it sounds daft, but it was like, oh okay. Oh, it's $40. I don't have to wait for this to go on sale. It's not going to
Why
go on
not?
sale anytime soon. I was looking for a physical release, but it's I don't think it was going to be released for another few weeks, so I actually bought it digitally, and I saw you guys playing it a lot and actually consistently playing it, as opposed to sometimes like we'll play a game and you play it for a few nights and it's gone. And I watched a couple of the trailers and I just thought the graphics looked pretty amazing and it looked pretty fun, and so I just happened to have the money that week and I was like, oh yeah, why not, I'll give this a whirl. And needless to say, it definitely lived up. I think I got about 30 hours into it now. I'm level 21.
Nice.
Cool. How about you, John? Why'd you cave?
Well, I finally I re-upped on my PlayStation membership, and so I got the extra. So that's why I was kind of putting it off, because in order to it wouldn't be just a $40 game. I would have to get the membership.
Mhm.
So that's why I was kind of putting it off for a while. And then so yeah, I picked it up and then started playing around with it. And then just got into it once I was playing with Dave a lot, and then I would play with you and Jared here and there.
Mhm.
But yeah, altogether it was just it's been great.
Yeah. John and I are the early crew. Ian and Jared get on late.
This
Yeah.
is true. And I haven't
I
been
must
on game.
admit
it's
that it's been a
online.
long time since I've played a game where it's like I'm going to bed later than I really want to, if you know what I mean.
The old
The
Destiny days.
it overrides the adult sensibility, i.e. it's 10 o'clock, I've got to go to bed because I've got to be up at arse crack of dawn the next day.
And
Or
then-
I'll just have one more game.
Obviously, Jared and I have talked a bit about it, but like, share your guys' thoughts about the game. Like, what do you feel about like what the game is, the shooting, the mechanics, like.
I like
Go ahead, Dave.
I like the variety. I like the way the stratagems work. You don't just press a button to get a special weapon. You've got to kind of put a little bit of thought into it. And I like how you can tailor the stratagems to the mission. If you got to kill a lot of things, or if you got to defend a particular point, or do stuff, you can pull those in. And I really like just watching the galactic map and the ebb and flow of the war. And it does a really good job of making you feel like you're part of it, but B, you're making a little bit of a difference. So, and the humor's great. The humor's great.
Hmm.
So,
What about you, John?
John?
So I played the original Helldivers with what perspective do you call it when you're
Top
like
down or isometric?
top down? Yeah. So I played it. So I was familiar with kind of like the world and like the makeup of the game, and I think they've done a great job transitioning it to third person. I mean, you definitely feel more in the action than coming from a top down perspective. It is amazing that it's the same engine. I mean, I guess they've updated it, but I think you were speaking, Ian, that they're kind of like pushing it into the limit. Like they kind of had to work some wizardry in order to get the engine where it's at right now.
And it's not. It's like a dead engine. Like it's not supported by the original
Yeah,
designers.
it's
so
like
they-
an old engine,
Yeah,
really.
so
old.
they have to. Their engineers had to do a
And
lot of stuff.
The
Kind of.
smoke and explosion effects just look absolutely amazing. Like
Yeah,
when you
they're
call in
top-notch.
an airstrike of some kind,
Mm.
you really feel like you've like let something massive loose, if you know what I mean, as
Especially if you're
opposed
in the
to
middle of it.
oh yeah, or if it's a mortar cannon killing Ian.
Yeah, your whole body turns to chunks.
Yeah.
But I think the game does a really good job. I mean, like the gore is really, tastefully done. I mean, they're not. Uh, I think they did a great job with the gore in terms of the bugs and the mechs. If you shoot a mech, you just kind of see sparks and oil kind of going all over the place, and then if you shoot the bugs, it's like uh, what was that bug movie in the 90s?
Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Starship
That
Troopers.
bug
So
movie. This game
Yeah.
is that movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this
The
game is
game.
Starship Troopers.
I mean, there's even the point where you shoot the thing and you shoot its legs off, and it's still coming for you. And
Mhm.
Yeah,
tear
that's pretty
apart.
cool. Yeah, the detail and some of the enemy types and like especially the bugs. Like, yeah, I've seen that before. If you shoot some legs off, it's still trying to come at you. Um, yeah, and the creepiness of the bugs, I think they did a great job with that as well. Some of the lore is kind of interesting. I'm not too into it, but I like because you respawn, of course, when you die. But then some people were thinking, are they clones? And then I was reading on Reddit, like, no, it's actual human droves of people they're just throwing at this problem. And so that was kind of interesting to read about the politics of the Helldivers world, that the troops are so expendable, and that same. I mean, really, they really borrowed heavily from Starship Troopers in terms of this kind of world
Oh yeah.
they've built.
And the
And the
humor.
map is fun as well. I mean, it's kind of I don't feel too impactful about it because I know there's so many people playing the game right now that it's kind of hard to be invested in a war that we're constantly winning. So, but I know that can change. I mean, I saw today that they're starting to make the bugs more aggressive, but even then, like they had some goal where the community had to clear like 5 planets, and that's been done. So we're all
Oh,
gonna
is
get
that
like
being done? I haven't logged on today, so
yeah, there's like 5 hours left, and all the 5 planets they were asking to be liberated have been liberated, and so we'll all get like
Nice.
15 medals that we can.
For
Or I think it's 35.
democracy.
I have noticed that it's usually at like 25% of the people are playing the robots and the rest are playing the bugs quite often.
Mhm.
Yeah, there seems to be more focus on the bugs than the bots. I mean, I'm sure that'll change with the seasons. Maybe this season they're just focusing on the bugs because that's
Yeah.
what people want to play. That's probably more popular, and
I also think
people.
people enjoy the bugs because they don't shoot back as much.
Yeah.
Like the robots really you're in more of a firefight. I remember it was
Mm,
quite a shock to my tactics and the way I'd been playing the game when I first played a robot mission versus a bug mission.
mm. Yeah, but so
Yeah, you
far
actually have to take cover.
I think it'll be more interesting
Yep.
once we get into higher difficulties and we start communicating more with our loadouts. I know that was something Ian spoke of while we were playing one time, that as we get higher in the levels, I mean, just saying for players who are playing the game at the much harder difficulty levels, you really have to start strategizing what loadouts everyone is taking and how each loadout can support one
Yeah.
and the other.
Yeah, it's amazing like that we've played it on hard difficulty and if we're all pulling together and we're cohesive, it's
It's
actually
easy.
not
Yeah.
bad. But if we all like if we're not communicating for whatever reason or we're just like or we've not got the best loadouts for what we're doing, then it does become
Someone
quite
brought the
difficult.
marksman rifle.
I
What do you-
always bring the marksman rifle.
For a game that has such a simple game loop, why do you think it keeps calling us back to play it? What do you think about it that makes you guys keep wanting to come back?
It's it changes each time we play. I mean, I don't know if each planet is procedurally generated every time we land. Um but in terms of like bugs popping out all over the place, the mission objectives change. I mean, the maps change just enough to keep things interesting, and then they do a great job with as you level up and you start unlocking things, you there's always something to try out such as a new weapon. If you go to the war bonds, or you have the season passes, or if you unlock like an airstrike and you want to see how it works, or there's always something to play around with.
Yeah, I
And-
feel like I've reached the level of collecting samples to upgrade my ship now. But like John says, the stratagems you're pretty much unlocking one every 3 or 4 missions, if not smaller gap than that earlier on in the game. And I like the fact that if someone calls down a stratagem and they're level 30 and they have access to it, you can pick it up and use it. So you can kind of sample some of the weapons without actually unlocking them, which is kind of cool.
And they also tend
yeah,
to give you one, like a
Yeah,
free
yeah,
one
that's
every, two every
that's
week
a
or so.
great
They change
ploy
them.
by them.
hmm And I'm curious to see what, like, in the future, like what new ones they add. Or I mean, I haven't updated my ship enough to see because once you update your ship, it starts changing the effectiveness of certain stratagems and what they can do. Like, I know Dave was complaining about the mechs not firing fast enough. Well, once you
yeah,
upgrade that part of your ship, they do start firing faster. So it's all
yeah.
part of a
I've reduced the cooldown time on some of mine. Like it reduces it 10%. So it goes from 300 seconds to 270, which doesn't sound much, but it's still.
Every
Or
second
or
counts.
the sentries drop down a lot quicker. You
right,
throw the
right.
grenade and you're not sat there twiddling your thumbs.
And then, as a live service game, how do you guys feel about the whole live service-ness of it, like the war
Oh, I
bonds
actually
and
want to buy in for the first time ever.
why
I
is that?
mean, I actually was thinking of getting a season pass, which I've never even considered because I've always thought it was a waste of money. But um, yeah,
So
I think the developers have kind of taken a hint. Not that I think they were observant enough to see what other microtransactions have worked and have not worked in the past. And I think they're doing a great job of bringing a lot of value to the game, which is going to promote goodwill
hmm
for you as a consumer to buy more into it because you love the content and there's more content to be had, but you're not being pressured. There's not like aggressive sales tactics. Um, they really kind of respect you as a player, and they're just hoping you're appreciative enough to buy more into it.
I also think it's
No,
smart because there's no player versus player, so there's no
Yes.
feeling like having like
yeah,
a pay to
of being
win type of
underpowered.
thing.
Yeah.
Like everything is and
Well, that
even
was it. I think
go ahead.
I was going to say similar thing. It's like when you buy stuff, if you choose to pay, it's not like you're bypassing,
hmm
you know, the kind of. It's not like there's no pay to win really. I mean, you can buy good stuff that's interesting that fits your play style, but it's not going to get you like super ahead of the game. You can't like you can buy stuff to the side of what's available as
Right.
opposed to being able to just buy your way through all the war bonds. I think is really what I'm
Right,
trying
you're
to
still
say.
gonna have to play the game. It's not like you're paying to level yourself up
Hmm.
automatically, or and it's not like the basic war bond path. I mean, that still offers you some pretty cool stuff. So like, you're just getting some little more bells and whistles stuff if you want, but it definitely is not something you need in the game, which I think is because really the fun part of the game is really the stratagems, and those, they don't sell.
Yeah.
Those are unlocked through playing. So I think those are really what you want to use to play the game. I mean, really, those are the
Yeah.
fun things.
I wonder how they're gonna add stratagems and stuff going
Oh,
forwards because
right.
that'll be kind of cool. Because I get the feeling they're going to support this game for a long time. It's been much more successful than they thought it was. So they've probably got a little bit of money that, it's kind of like No Man's Sky, except this game released fully formed,
hmm
unlike No Man's Sky, but they've supported that game for a long time. And
Yeah, really
hopefully
successful. I mean, they announced last week 8 million copies have sold. I mean, that's incredible. I don't think they even saw that.
yeah,
You know,
I read somewhere that they were expecting like 2 million would have been a good number for them. So.
it's very,
I think
very
it's also just arrived at a point where there's not much else competing for attention right now.
right. Well, I think when we went
There's no
last,
big new Call of Duty or anything like that
well,
out
along those
there.
lines, like last week when we went out like last Monday to get a beer. I think we were talking. It's like there's not really a fun shooter that's like feels good. Like the weapons feel good and chunky. Like there's not that kind of game out there right now. And I think, I mean, it feels good to shoot and kill things, and it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then the stratagems are just the icing on the cake. Like when you call in those airstrikes, I just love it.
I think it's funny
It's
that
like you stand back and the whole horizon lights up. You know.
I think it's funny that we like to kill each other with those. I mean, there is friendly fire within the guns, but we don't often kill each other much with the guns. It's generally the stratagems.
Yeah,
because that's
everything
more fun.
else.
Everything else.
Yep.
Yeah.
It took me a while to realize that if I'm aiming down the sights and someone's strafing left and right in front of me, I just need to not try and shoot.
Yeah.
Just let the
Yeah.
bugs
I've
have
gotten shot down a couple times that way.
Yeah.
But no, it's a. I mean, and I think 100% when we finally got the four of us to play together and you're playing with your group of friends, the game is such a blast. It's so
Yeah, it
funny.
really
It's a lot of
opens up.
fun. And then you can really start to play harder difficulties, and then you start getting more XP. You start getting, more medals and shit. So like it really enhances the game. I mean, you can run solo, but you're not gonna,
No, solo. I
It's
did
just,
solo. It's boring.
The only thing, so like I did a solo run that other night when I couldn't get on, when I finally got on at like 12:30, I did do a solo run on easy, and I got that 15 common samples trophy because I just ran around the
nice.
world and just collected samples. I had to
Nice.
like keep finding a world that had 15 samples to begin with, but I would just run around, because everything's really super easy, but then you can collect all the samples, so it's like,
Yeah. I feel like that's one of the missions we'll do this week is just put it on an easy one and collect all the samples
right.
because I think everyone needs. It takes ages, it seems like, to get up to 60 or 80 samples to
Right.
Yeah.
upgrade one of your things.
Everyone needs less chargers in their life.
Right.
Mhm. Yes. Although the orbital laser does a good job on those.
Yeah, it does. I just unlocked that. What a sweet weapon.
Jared, is there anything you
Yeah.
want to add? I mean, now that we put more time into it.
Well, not really. But I did bring up a small list of some of the fun quotes that pop up. If you want me to read through some of those.
Sure.
Let's see. Some of them are a little more generic, but some of them are pretty funny. We all know them. Work together to protect your future. How about a nice cup of liberty? That's Dave's favorite.
You can buy that
Yeah.
mug on
Belle
PlayStation.
Artois.
There's a
Liberty.
shirt too, yeah.
PlayStation.com. You can get the cup, the coffee mug.
How about freedom doesn't come free? Incoming friendly fire. Dodge or don't. Your call. Let's see. And of course, the whole together for managed democracy thing, that just cracks me up every time.
What was the one we tried giving them freedom and the
Oh, that's right. That one's hilarious.
that one was great.
I can't find that one. But yeah, that was really good. Yeah.
How about you, Nick?
Victory or death. Preferably victory though.
Do you have any questions? Are you interested in playing this game, Nick? Since you're here.
I am. I actually, yeah, well, I mean, that was kind of why I wanted to come on because you guys were talking about this. That and I'm off tomorrow and
Nice.
Oh, nice.
thought it'd be fun to surprise you guys.
Yeah,
Um,
it was a great surprise.
You do have a beer battle too, right?
I do.
Oh, do we?
If anybody wants,
Oh shit.
if any, then yeah, I'm crashing the show. And anyway, did any of you guys play the first one at all?
Yeah, we
The
all
first
played.
Helldivers?
We've all played the first.
We all
one.
did.
I own it
Yeah.
on disc.
Okay.
We played it quite a
Okay.
few times at
Mhm.
like game night. Actually.
Solid
But it
game.
never
Did
stuck.
You, Nick?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You didn't know, right?
No.
That was on PS3 originally, and then
Oh, okay.
PS4, and it you can play it on PS5, of course. So it's
Do I
it's
need
available.
to go back and play it, or should
No,
if I were-
absolutely not.
It's
But
a fun game, but this one's better.
If you come upon it, it's worth your time.
No? Okay.
It's also difficult to
yeah,
succeed.
it's like the same game except it's just a completely different perspective, basically.
Mhm. Same engine.
Yeah, same engine.
And I mean, I had another question, but you guys already answered it. So it sounds like it's just you group up with a bunch of people. You're not facing off against other people.
No.
It's just you.
No, they don't even want to put PvP in the game, and I think that's one of the appeals about the game is that you don't have to understand or follow any crazy storylines or anything like that. It's just jump in a match, upgrade shit, some funny shit is said here and there. Accidents happen all the time. It's entertaining chaos, and that's what's good about it, is the chaos.
I did read a good one on Reddit though. Apparently there's some guy hosting the game and he was being a dick. And so the players got sick of him and he died. And so they picked up his sample container, respawned him, and then ran out of the map, out of bounds on the map with the sample,
Jeez.
all the samples.
Oh, that's rough.
Got nuked. I was like, well, that's
Ouch.
it, right, for being a dick, you know. But
So like there was I saw a video of one where this guy you know how you go into this certain areas and you do the bomb, it like do the thing and then the bomb comes down or whatever.
yeah, the hell
hell bomb.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like I think the meme was everyone gets stupid when you call in the hell bomb, and so it shows this guy calling it in because everyone's standing around and he just calls it in, and so it's calling in, and then the guy starts running away, and then the other three guys just stay there in the area like having no clue on what the like they have no idea what's going on, and then it just blows all three of them up. And the guy's like, so he throws the thing to reinforce them, and so they come back down. And then as soon as the guy comes out of his pod, he shoots the other guy. It's just like, what? People are idiots sometimes. It's like, what? Anyway, it's pretty funny. There's some funny stuff that happens. So if you do play with randos, you know, there's some people that are pretty hardcore about it. I mean, I've read some stuff on like Polygon or Games Radar about people like that are really like role playing the whole, you know, liberty, freedom, democracy shit, and they take it pretty
Fun.
hardcore. It's kind of funny, but
Yeah,
I
I've
don't
not
know.
come across anyone who's. I got kicked from one game, but I wasn't sure if it was just because the server they were on crashed, or you know something like that. It wasn't like abusive beforehand. It would just
Mhm.
kick me out through off.
Yeah, I
halfway
haven't
through the
run into any. But then lately, I've only
Yeah.
really been playing with you guys when I have been playing. So,
True, I've been playing a lot more, kind of with
I s-
people I know.
and then I saw you guys play with Jason the other night. How did that go?
That was great. We
That was
all had a
pretty
good
good,
time.
yeah. Got him
But
up to
it was
level
weird
4,
going
I
back to those easy difficulties. We just kind of stood around most of the match. We're like, huh, okay.
That's funny.
Although, you know, you only have to play one match, beat one match at the difficulty
Right,
level
then
to
it
unlock
goes
the
on.
next
Right.
one. So
Yeah.
by the end of it, I think we were doing challenging, which with when you've got someone who doesn't have the orbital laser strikes and the better weaponry, it is kind of, it does make it challenging, you know. Because
Yeah.
again, it comes back to the loadouts, and if you've got one person who's not leveled up high enough, it's like, yeah, you can carry him, but it's not easy.
Hmm.
I just think it's really cool that this game was kind of like on the radar, you know, but then just how successful and how fun it is to play. You know, it's definitely going to be on probably my game of the year list. So
Yeah, I think it's going to be really popular. I mean, my brother and my brother-in-law have both bought this game, so pretty
That's
much
awesome.
everyone I know has PlayStation 5 has bought it, which is kind
Wow.
of surprising. I don't think there's been anything
That
since
never
Destiny
happens.
where
yeah, it's
so
been a
many
while.
people I know have owned a copy.
For sure. Cool. Well, that's Helldivers 2. I think we're all pretty big fans. I think you'd enjoy it, Nick. Hopefully you can get on with us and play sometime. I don't know if there's anything
And
else.
I actually had one more question.
Oh,
Is
yes.
like are the microtransactions, like, are they pretty decent, or
Oh, they're
like
fucking
are they
cheap,
pretty
dude. Like-
cheap? Okay.
Well, here's the other thing. You don't really need you can
don't
buy
need
the
to.
Battle Pass, but the money that you can buy, I mean, you can spend like what? It's like pretty cheap to buy that shit, but you don't need to buy it because they actually give you can find credits in the world. So like, and you can buy them in the
if you open
Battle
these
Pass.
bunkers in the world, they'll have like 10 or 25 credits in them, and you
Mhm.
know the armor is 150 to 250 credits.
Everything's
So
pretty chill, man.
and
I
you
think
Uh,
get them for getting the war bonds, so it's you can.
there is a funny thing though in like the market where you do use the credits to buy the gear. Like it has like 6 pieces of gear, whatever. It's 4, right? 2 suits and 2.
Yep.
Anyway, they
Yeah.
have like purchase comments that are pretty fucking funny sometimes at the bottom.
Yeah, like user reviews,
Yeah,
but
user
from
reviews.
Helldivers.
It's pretty funny.
Not real ones.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they're pretty funny. But the items, I've actually looked through some of the season pass kind of stuff, and a lot of those weapons sound awesome. I'm
Oh yeah.
pretty tempted
So,
to
John, how much is
buy
the
into one
season
of
pass?
those.
Because I haven't actually looked.
It's kind of confusing because they have a $10 season pass, or you can pay $20 for the upgraded
So I
Helldivers
think
2.
$20. I think it gives you the yearly, the whole. I think forever. I don't know how
Huh.
long it lasts.
Hmm.
The $20 one, and then the $10 one is an add-on. I'm not. Yeah, I don't quite understand
Yeah, I
the
don't
$10
know.
Yeah, it's
one,
kind of yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little confusing.
but
I mean, I was thinking of just doing the upgraded because you still get a lot of cosmetics and weapons, and then you get access to one part. So they have two parts for that season pass. They have like steeled veterans and future weapons or something like that. So you get steeled veterans, war bonds. So I was thinking of just doing the upgraded one.
anyway,
Hmm.
it's a thing. You don't have to do it.
Yeah, I've thought of it. I have.
And every every different kind of piece of armor has a little bit of a perk. Like maybe you carry 2 more grenades, or it's a light,
Yeah,
so you
which
run
is really
faster.
actually
Yeah,
useful.
that
Because you
armor's
get more
It's all
awesome.
stims
very
as well.
basic, but
Yeah.
it's like a lot of the suits have that same kind of perk, so it's not really. You just kind of are mixing and matching. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's cool. It's going to become kind of a cosmetic, or what do you call that? A fashion show, because Anyway, it's cool. But you
Kind of
don't
like
need
Rocket League.
it. Don't need it. Kinda. I mean, I think it's better than Rocket League. I mean, Rocket League. I don't know.
Well, when you're just
In
talking
the
about
in the
fashion
in the
show.
in the current microtransaction landscape of what Rocket League is doing, I think it's a little more. Game wise, it's 2 different games. I mean, that's 2 different types of
Right.
crack.
No, but when you said
Right.
fashion show,
Right.
yeah.
All right. Well, then if you're gonna beer battle really quickly, like, what beers are you battling tonight that you haven't started
I'm
drinking
just
yet?
I'm just doing a little freebie thing.
Oh
We're gonna do
yeah.
some Heineken
Ooh.
Silver versus some Corona Light.
There you go.
So
There you go.
Hmm.
Well, enjoy.
I'll crack the Heineken open right now. Actually, Heineken Silver.
All right. Well, while you're enjoying that beer, Dave, Dr.Demo, what demo will we be speaking about this evening?
So I've played 2 demos since we last recorded, but I'm going to speak about the older one of the 2, which is Unicorn Overlord, kind of tactical RPG strategy game, and so it's quite a cartoony Japanese style game. I think it's by Sega actually.
It's
Maybe
by
it's not.
Vanillaware.
The people that did Dragon's Crown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so the graphics style at first I was not convinced because it's very like we'll take this guy riding the horse, split it into 2 bits and make them move. It's not the greatest animated game, but I played a little bit of it. I like the fact that the your progress would carry over to the full game. So it's kind of cartoony. You're on the map, you move around. What's different about it is the actual battle. You kind of set everything up beforehand. So you kind of like set up a battle order or how you want your people to react to certain things, and then you fire them into battle basically against the bad guys and see what they go. For some reason, I read the title as Unicorn Overload. I don't know why. For the longest time, I thought that was the name of the game. But
I mean, the A could look like an R. Maybe that's what it is.
yeah, it's actually a pretty cool game. I could see myself like when I was younger, or if it was like on the Game Boy or something. On a portable system, I could totally see myself. It does lend itself to kind of hopping in and hopping out. It seemed like it would have a pretty decent story as well. But the demo is good for like 6 hours, I want to say,
Oh,
of
wow.
play.
That's a good
I played it
amount.
just about an hour and a half, and it was pretty good. I just got out of the tutorial level, kind of, here's how you move, here's how you set up stuff, and all the rest of it. And so I feel like it's a definite try. If you like the kind of Final Fantasy RPG kind of stuff, it's something that's
Critics
worth
have
a
given
look.
it a 87 on Metacritic.
Yeah, it's pretty popular
I
right now. It's a pretty popular game.
I could see that. It was it seemed like it was a very good game. It's just I don't. The only reason I wouldn't buy it or play it is it's just I've got other stuff going on right now, and it's not quite my kind of game.
Right.
But I have played games that were similar to it. I used to have one on the Game Gear, and I can't remember what it was called. That was like this. Um, that's how long it's going back. But
Mhm.
definitely, if you like those kind of games, give it a try. Like I say, 6 hours, and your progress carries over to the full game if you buy it. So
So definitely a good demo, worth your time if you're into that. If you're unsure about
yes,
buying it, definitely check it out.
yeah,
Well, it's like a
definitely,
4-hour demo. You can play for
yeah,
like
or
4
maybe
hours.
4 hours. But yeah, I
Make
mean,
that 3 or 4
it's
hours.
a good solid demo where you'll get a good feel for the game, and you'll either be like, yeah, I want to play this game to the end, or it's not for me. But
Right. Cool.
so I was quite impressed. Um,
All
so
right.
I would give it a try. It's not a buy for me, but that doesn't mean it's.
Not a
I, w-
buy
I-
for you.
but I could see people buying it, from the demo because it is a good game. It's not a terrible game. It's just not my style of game. So
Yeah, no, Vanillaware has always made pretty solid games. I loved Dragon's Crown. Jared loved Dragon's Crown. I know this one's a
yeah.
Yeah,
little different, but
they
Well, I
made it
believe it
with
is available
Atlas
on the
as well.
Switch, and I think the Switch
Yeah,
would be a good platform for it because the mobile gaming aspect.
cool.
absolutely.
So.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, Dave. That's Unicorn Overlord. Why is it called Unicorn?
Overload.
Is there a Unicorn Overlord? Like, are you trying? Like, I guess story wise, is that explained what that is?
I can't remember
Oh, okay.
about 2 or 3 weeks ago when I played it, but
Yeah, that's all right.
yeah.
No worries. All right. Well, I just wanted to then just shoot the shit. So, who's beat anything recently? Anybody?
I beat Titanfall 2 again.
Oh, nice.
I ran through the story, and it still kicks ass.
Fucking kicks
Nice.
ass. God damn it.
Okay.
That was like
awesome.
that was actually I kind of when I started because it was like $2 on PlayStation Store, so I
Right.
just bought it,
Mhm.
and then I was like, damn, I should have put this on like my best games ever list. Like,
Didn't I? No, did I?
I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't think
It's
so.
been
I don't
on
think anyone.
some of your lists.
Yeah, I mean it was like game of the year when it came out, but like when we did that
Yeah, it's a
like
solid
a
game.
cheap game for that list. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm glad it holds up. Man, I've thought about playing through it again. Just too much.
It really does. It's stupid impressive. The shooting is still tight. I mean, the movement is great. The humor is still good. Like, I do like how BT and the pilot, like, they're almost like both straight men at the same time
Right.
in some ways, like, which is kind of interesting.
Hmm.
Like, because the guy doesn't know BT, so
They're like
that's
dude
kind of
bros.
what.
It's like a bromance.
Yeah, but it's pretty like, and then at the end, like BT starts to pick up on irony, which is kind of funny. Um, so yeah, that
How long
game
did it
is.
take you to get through this time? Like you just like run through it like a few hours, or like how long does it take? I forget.
Yeah, it's a few hours. I was playing it on hard, and then so and hard wasn't that bad. Then I played it. Played it a little bit on the extreme difficulty, and it's just more punishing. So
Right.
it's just kind of.
Yeah, it wasn't
Take
fun.
some of the fun out of it.
Did you try
Yeah.
to see if multiplayer was still working, or is that just like a ghost town?
No, I haven't, because I remember last time I heard about the multiplayer, it was just like a dumpster fire, because pretty much Respawn had abandoned it, so it was
Oh.
just like
Wild
there's
West.
like some weird ass shit happening with like the hackers, because I think they were starting to be able to get into other people's computers because
Oh really?
security was so lax. Yeah, I think they were having like some major security issues because they just weren't paying attention to the multiplayer because they're focusing on Apex Legends so much.
I guess there's still the co-op. I guess we could always play that sometime, but it's so
Oh
long
shit,
ago.
I didn't even know there was a co-op.
Yeah, I think you played it with Dave and I once.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I think I was on that once.
Anyway, yeah, you can like spawn your titans, and then like you kind of it's like a horde mode. You just kind of
Yeah,
you
that's
Oh,
protect
right.
you
okay.
protect a thing. Anyway, um, cool. Anyone else beat anything?
No,
Nope,
but I
nothing
did find
beat.
why it's called Unicorn Overlord.
Oh,
I remember
he's
now.
he.
It's the ring of the unicorn is like the king's ring that shows you the royal family,
Ah,
and they
Okay.
smuggle it out when they and basically that's how you know that you're the rightful heir to the throne.
no, I see. There we go. Okay, well then, what have you guys been playing, Jared? You been playing anything? I know you're playing something else.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing stuff on all three of the consoles.
Oh,
So on PlayStation, I'm now working on Final Fantasy III, as well as Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Helldivers, of course. If you have questions about any of those,
how is
Final
your
Fantasy VII
how
is
is your
going to
Final
take
Fantasy?
forever.
How is your Final Fantasy 3 playthrough? How's how's your
I'm
continuing
only a couple
journey?
hours in.
Oh, only a couple.
I'm enjoying that so far. Yeah, it has a lot of things that kind of carried forward from, like, a lot of the things that are still in Final Fantasy came from Final Fantasy 2. So it's fun to see where they pop up and things like that. I've always gotten a kick out of that. So it's neat. Even some of the names I keep bumping into, like, oh, I didn't realize that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's fun. 3 was really popular when it came out on, I think, the DS and Nintendo DS. It came out on there, and then like everybody started playing it.
Wow.
This is not that edition of it, of course. It's the Pixel remaster, which I like the art style. It's nice being able to jump between the two different music styles on all these Pixel remasters. It was kind of funny. Earlier, I was in a city and I had the classic music playing from the 80s. And I look at my youngest daughter and I'm like, hey, listen to the music. Tell me which one of these you like better. So I switched to the orchestral music that they updated, and then I switched back to the other music. A couple times she's like, "I like this one the best," and it's the uh, old school music. So I was
Oh,
pretty happy about that.
warmed his heart.
Yeah. So that was good. Um,
When
on
it
the Xbox, my Game Pass, I'm not going to re up it because I haven't been touching it much, honestly. So today I decided to hide in my garage and play Starfield. I'm pretty close to the end, I think. So I'm gonna jump into Starfield and finish that. I think I just have a few missions left. But
Are you liking Starfield, or are you getting kind of bored of it?
I I like I like a lot of aspects of it. I mean, it's still like fast travel the game. So that's like all I'm doing right now is fast travel. I know there's other things to do. Like the cities are really detailed, but there's absolutely no map. So there's no
Hmm.
way to know exactly, like, oh, where's this store specifically. You're like, I don't know. There's no signs guiding me anywhere. I'm
Oh,
just
that's
like,
weird.
oh
It was on
crap.
Steam for $46, and I considered buying it, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna hold out. It's got to hit
Yeah, but
30 bucks.
it's
It's got to hit
yeah,
30.
it's a good game though. I am enjoying what I'm doing. I like the characters I've been bumping into. The story is interesting enough to keep me going, and I just hit like the big knowledge dump on what all this is going to be in the end, and now I just have to go to the end.
Mm.
So I'm interested to see how they did it visually when you succeed in your mission, because the visuals in the game, even on my PC, like it's a pretty low end PC with a halfway decent graphics card, and it looks really good on my setup on this PC with this crappy monitor that I have. I mean, it's not a crappy monitor; it's just 1080p, lower res than I'm used to on my TV, and it looks really good. It plays really good. So, like, if you have a lower end PC, you might still want to try it if you have Game Pass or whatever.
How does this game rank compared to other Bethesda games? Like, is there a Bethesda game you would say is better, or is there does Starfield beat any Bethesda game you've played in the past?
Well, to say that is difficult for me because I'm not a fan of the Fallout series.
Mm.
So like I've played a lot of those games for like up to an hour and a half, and I usually just set them down because I get kind of bored. I think the storyline in this one is just kind of keeping me going. There's a lot of flaws that I don't like in it. Like there's like 60 different types of ammo, and half the time I'm carrying a gun that I don't have ammo for, but I have like 40 types of ammo in my inventory, and none of them are the right one.
I can't
That's
wait.
pretty lame.
That's why I can't wait to play it on PC, because then when I run into that issue, I'm
mod that
just gonna
ammo
no, just
unlimited.
even just console commands, just console command it.
Yeah.
Oh, are you playing it on
but
PC? But
yeah,
it's on Game Pass. I don't know
am.
if you can
It's
console
on Game
command.
Pass, so I can't even have Steam open it, so I can use
That
my
sucks.
Stadia controller.
That
I want to
sucks.
use my Stadia controller, damn it, because it's wireless. But no, I mean Skyrim is still like one of my top. Like I really enjoyed exploring in there, but they purposefully made most of the planets in Starfield pretty barren, because in reality, yeah, most of these planets are going to be barren with a couple of like labs and stuff on them, maybe. So I don't know. It's not interesting enough for me to not just go in a straight line to the objective. Like this is definitely a follow the cursor game.
I just hope in like 4 years, when I start playing this and modding it, that the modding community has just created craziness in the game, and it will be awesome. Because it feels, yeah, like Jared's saying, I keep hearing people saying it's just very barren and empty a lot of the time. I don't know.
Well, you think Neil
Except for
Armstrong
the
and Buzz
cities.
Aldrin were bored when they got on the moon? It's the same thing, right?
John,
That's why
exactly.
they took a golf club the next time round,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whichever one of the Apollo missions it was.
Yeah, but it's fine. I want to finish it, so there's
I've
that.
heard it's really worth a second playthrough, because there's kind of a meta playthrough you can do where you know all the events from your
Yeah.
first playthrough, and you can choose whether to like pretend you don't know or reveal all the future events. And
Right. Right.
it's
Yeah,
kinda
I
cool.
might start like if I beat that this in the next few days or whatever, I might kind of crash through like the early end of a play. I mean, I have my Game Pass until like April 6th, though I still have a couple weeks to play on it. But yeah, I'm enjoying what I'm playing at this point.
I'm going to
But
enjoy it. I just don't want to spend
yeah.
more than $30 on it right now.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, there's too much stuff to play. Why
Right.
spend so much on a game
And
you're
I'm basically
kind of
gonna
curious about?
and I'm gonna mod the fuck out
Yeah.
of it. So it's like it's not.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna mod the fuck out of it right out the gate. I'm not even gonna play. I'm not even gonna.
Tentacles in space.
I'm not even gonna do
Yeah,
a virgin. I'm not even gonna do a virgin playthrough. I'm gonna go straight, just big
There's
titty
no virgins
dominance.
in the Ends
There
game.
will be no virgins.
Yeah. And
In
the other
spa-
game I've
in
been
space,
playing,
no one's a virgin.
the last game I've been playing is on the
They've seen
Switch.
the Ends scream.
I play it for a couple hours a week, sometimes more, but I'm almost, I think, I'm about 3/4 of the way through Bayonetta 3.
Oh, finally beat that.
Yeah, I've been borrowing it from Ian for about 4 or 5 months
Didn't
or
even
something
know.
like that.
Didn't even know you
Forgot
were
I
borrowing.
had
Like
it.
4 or 5 years.
Yeah, he forgot I had it. He forgot he owned
You
it.
haven't
I
even
think.
you haven't beaten it, right, Ian? You stopped?
No, I played like the first 2 levels, and then I kind of put it away because I was playing something else, and I wasn't really taken by it. And then I said, "Oh, I should beat it so I can let Jared play it." And so I went into my console to see if and it wasn't there. And then Jared said, "I have it."
Yeah,
And Jared didn't
that's
even know
funny.
we had it.
Yeah, I forgot I had it. But I don't know. It's fine. I mean, you don't just play as Bayonetta, so that's kind of annoying in some ways. I mean, it makes the battles more varied because you have a couple different characters you're using at different times, different storylines, and that I think the storyline's interesting enough to keep me going through it. I always really enjoy the Bayonetta stories because they're kind of all over the place and pretty wild sometimes. This one's it seems to be a little more grounded. It doesn't have that dude that sounds like a gangster, whatever the crap that guy is. I haven't bumped into him. He was like the worst part of the first and second ones, and so far I haven't bumped into him. But yeah, I'm digging it. I like the special like spirits or whatever they're called that you get to tag along with and use. There's several different animal type things, and like a spider and scorpion and things like that.
Cool.
One of them's kind of goofy. I won't spoil that for Ian. He'll get to do that, but
Try it sometime.
it's fun. It's fun. Some of the levels seem a little too wide. I mean, it's supposed to be more open, so traversal seems a little slow in some areas. Yeah, you can do like kind of a triple jump, and it'll do a sprint of some type. But I don't know. Sometimes it just seems a little slow. I really wish I could just play a better looking version of it on my PlayStation, but that's not going to happen.
Cool.
But it's fine.
All right. I mean, speaking of Bayonetta, I think Dave's playing Devil May Cry. I mean,
yeah.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Final Fantasy.
Oh
16.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
have the
Final
ring
Fantasy
of
16 was fun.
timely evasion, which means you don't have to press R1 to evade. And then I've got the one that makes the dog just do the automatic attacks. And then there's one, it's a ring, I can't remember the exact name of it, the ring of something, where basically you just hammer square the whole time. But I'm really enjoying the game. I was about 60% in, and I hit this horrible plateau for about 2 hours of dumbass fetch quests that are just so boring, and it's killed me. I'm like, come on, it really broke the story. And I'm kind of like, oh, come on, let's get back to the story. And I know it's going to be good because I'm fetching all the bits to build this big, like, flying battleship thing. But it's
That's
just
right.
like, oh, really? This game could have done with a good editor. It does have a couple of moments where it does that. It kind of goes off the main story, and I'm like, wow, this is like not even bad quality DLC level, you know. But I'll probably finish it. I'm about 16, 17 hours in, I think, last time I looked. It's been a long time since I've played a game where it's like I'll sit down and I'll do it, and then I'll look at the clock and it's half hour later, and there's like, the cutscenes and all the rest of it. Or I'm like, I'll just finish when I get to the next save point, and I'll look and it's half hour later before I'm like back in the game, and I've not, I'm not saying that as a bad thing. It's actually just engrossing.
Yeah, it's
But
entertaining.
the best things about it, to be quite honest, the voice acting's fantastic, and
Really
the
good.
music's really good, and so the world's pretty good as well. Like I say, I'm enjoying the story a lot. I just feel like it could do with a little bit of editing to get rid of some of the. They just feel really like filler quests. Like one of them, you gotta go get some sand from the riverbed,
Sounds
and
fun.
it's not a big quest, and it doesn't add anything really to the story. It's like, why am I doing this? This is bullshit.
A little
So
bit of banter, maybe a side quest, that you can
yeah,
get. But
but
yeah,
there's plenty of
that's
side
about it.
quests available, and I haven't done any of the
Yeah,
side
there's a
quests.
lot of side quests.
I
Jared
feel
did
like
all of them.
I feel like the
did.
side quests would just be the same, more of the same, and I'm
Mm.
just like not that interested. I just want to see the main story. So,
All right.
but I'm enjoying it. It's good, and like I say, I'll probably beat it. But that's really the only other thing I've been playing. I haven't really played much Rocket League or anything else. So,
Fucking Helldivers.
Hell,
yep.
How about you, Nick? Have you been playing anything, or you just I don't know.
Fallout 4.
What's that?
Have you been? I don't know what Dave said. What did you say?
Oh,
Fallout 4.
Oh, Fallout 4.
yeah, he's right. I kind of jumped back into that, and it was actually starting to progress some of the story, and I actually just started one of the DLCs this morning.
Oh, which one?
Far Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that goes.
I
You've
started
never
that. I
played any of
started
the
that
DLC?
DLC, but haven't completed it. I like went there and then was like, nah, I'm gonna tap out. I should go back and finish that.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out, see what it's like. I heard I can.
So
at
you've
least
never
make
played any of the DLC for Fallout 4?
I did the Nuka World one, kind of. I don't think I technically finished that because I don't want to have raiders coming into the Commonwealth and taking over one of my already prized
Hmm.
settlements.
Mm.
So I just kind of put that one on hold until I decide what I want to do. But yeah, other than that, that's like the only DLC I've done for Fallout 4.
Cool. Anything
Yeah.
else? No. Yeah.
I mean, I think I mentioned it last night, but I bought Pacific Drive or
I totally
some
forgot.
time
I
ago.
would not have remembered any of that conversation.
Yeah, I mean, is there anything you remember from last night?
No.
Okay. But also,
You've got the video.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there was that, and then I also bought another game that was on sale. It was called Saints Row. So
Oh
it was
boy. Oh, that's like
Okay.
11
It was-
bucks, wasn't it?
it was 9.
Oh, 9. Jeez.
Nice.
So I
Nice.
just said, "What the hell?" So
I beat that.
at
I had
least
fun
get
with that. It's not that great, but I had fun with it.
But I mean, would it be great for $9?
Oh yeah. I mean, I bought it at full price, so
I think we eventually got it free on PlayStation Plus. Maybe you probably weren't a subscriber at that point.
Yeah,
I think we
that's
got
probably
it.
when I.
Or no, we got it on like Epic or something.
Oh,
Yeah, Epic Store.
but yeah, so there's those games. I mean, I have another backlog of
don't
games
we
that I
all?
need to get to. Yep.
Don't we?
Oh
all?
yeah, backlog.
What beer are you
Oh,
on?
how are the-
Oh, yeah, how are the beers?
Yeah, the beers.
Oh, well, I'm almost finished with my Corona Light. I've already finished the Heineken Silver, and I think I'll give the nod to Heineken Silver because it actually tastes more like actual Heineken than Corona Light does to Corona, and plus I like this one better anyway.
Green bottle,
Yeah,
baby.
I drank it one last night. It was really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But would you actually
pretty
buy those
tasty.
over the
No,
originals?
I'm gonna buy their full strength counterparts. Although, it is kind of interesting that while Corona Light is a light beer at 4%, just regular Corona Extra is only 4.6. So,
Right.
of course, maybe the calorie content's considerably lower than
Maybe.
Corona Extra, but I don't know. I just normally think when I think of light beer, I think of like almost half of everything, not just a 0.6% of alcohol.
Right.
But whatever, I'm not the person marketing this crap.
There you go.
Oh,
right.
and we did get Saints Row free on PS Plus. I did not buy it, but I own it.
There you go.
It must have been, yeah, when I let my PS Plus lapse for
Yeah,
a couple months.
All
it's
right,
all good.
Johnny boy, what have you been playing aside from Titanfall 2? And Helldivers?
So I've been playing.
A lot of games. This guy is a gamer, bro.
Yeah, I got back into it.
He's got a list.
He's got a list.
So I bought Night Dive's Dark Forces, and I've been playing that steadily. Because I played that game when I was younger, like when I was a kid. So I mean, when I was playing the first level, like I was smiling because it's like, wow, I remember playing this first level over and over again. So that was pretty
With
cool.
the droids.
The
the-
droids. No, the first levels you steal the Death Star plans.
Oh, okay.
And then the droids come in like the third level,
yeah.
which is like the giant sewer level.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I played it back on PC when it first launched.
they did a great job. I mean, they just kind of upresed the graphics, and then they kind of cleaned up the audio. But it's pretty sick. I mean, really, really cool. And they updated some of the gameplay. So because
Nice.
I mean, it's still the game still auto aims for you, but do have more control of how you look with the camera with modern controllers, dual stick versus at the time your character. I think you would have to use the keyboard to look up when you were playing
Yeah.
the game in order to shoot. And then the next game I've been playing is Sifu. That game is pretty awesome. It is frustrating and hard, but it is very rewarding to go from struggling to going back to the early levels, and you're pretty much blazing through it. So that game is challenging, but it is very rewarding. And I think they did a really great job with the kung fu stuff, and even the impact of all your punches and kicks. They did a great job with that. how you dodge is very stylish and cool. The story is pretty simple, but they add like kind of interesting supernatural elements where you're not really sure if it's happening or if it's not, or if it's like maybe like a more of a metaphor than actual reality happening. So Sifu, I've been really enjoying, and then Helldivers 2, which we just discussed, and then I've been playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Which I was having like the intro, it just kind of takes a little too long to get into the game. I mean, I remember Assassin's Creed Odyssey was much shorter intro, and I think they did a better intro in Assassin's Creed Odyssey better than Valhalla. I think Valhalla just takes too long to get into. And then at one point the game pissed me off because once it goes into the skill web, it just kept like doing flashpoints of all these different skills, but it went on for seemed like a solid minute, and it's just like, why can't I skip through this? I don't need to see this. Why is this? Why is the game just doing this?
Yeah.
Expecting me to be like, whoa, there's so many skills. I don't care. Just I want to get back to the game.
I
And
wasn't.
then
Yeah, Valhalla was kind of I loved Odyssey a lot, and Valhalla. While I played all the way through it, there were definitely things I was just like not really up on. The game was kind of a turnoff, and I actually left it for a while and then came back to it.
oh
Because,
really?
yeah, I just was like, I don't know. There's something about the game style is a little different than Odyssey too. It's just because it's by a different studio, even though it's obviously both Ubisoft. It's like their alternate Assassin's Creed studio, and the game just feels a little different. And they make you do a lot of other stupid shit, kind of like what Dave was talking about. Like to beat the game at the end, I won't ruin it, but they make you do something that is just like, why do I have to do this? But at that point, I was really invested in the game, so I did it. But it was just like, come on, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, I think they just need to reboot the series. And I think what they should do, just get rid of the Abstergo timeline
I
and
don't mind
or
that. I don't mind that.
I just hate being popped out of the Animus. I really think they should just it should be more of an anthology story where instead of hopping into an Animus and then you hop out of it, they force you to hop out of it and do some like save the world bullshit that I could care less of. Just do an anthology where you play a character in a historical time
Oh,
and leave it
I
at
see.
that. Like it doesn't need to
I guess
necessarily
in,
be a
in
time travel thing.
in the regards to that, I feel like they make us do a lot less of that these days. Like back in the fucking Assassin's Creed 2 and the Desmond era, there was a lot of that shit. Or even in like
Yeah.
Black Flag,
But
there
I
was a lot
don't
of that shit. But I feel like there
I
was very
cannot keep
little in
up.
Odyssey, and there was very little in Valhalla, really,
Yeah,
comparatively to like those old games. So I didn't really
like
mind that, and that's not what I'm talking about. I know what you mean, but they make you
yeah.
do other shit
No,
that
I figured that's not what you meant. Yeah, but I'm just like totally detached from the story now because apparently like Layla, I think is like the
yeah.
woman you play in the current timeline. Like something happened with her and the staff of Hermes, and I'm just like, but I played Odyssey. I don't remember this
Did you
shit
play all the
happening. Like,
DLC?
yeah, I played all the DLC.
You don't
So
remember
like
that?
they were trying to make it seem like Hermes staff was overtaking her, but I don't remember that shit. And I played through the Atlantis DLC, so I don't
Huh?
know what they're trying to insinuate. Like I just don't remember that
Yeah, because
stuff at all.
she meets at the end. She like doesn't she talk to fucking Cassandra at the end or whoever character you chose? Like she meets
Yeah,
them.
yeah. I that part I remember. She meets Cassandra, and like
Mm.
Cassandra has the staff to her. But no, they're talking about like somehow she got into an argument with a team member, and then there was a split in the team, and then the staff was like talking to her, and then they had to put some kind of like chip on her neck that blocks any kind of
Shit.
signals the staff could be sending to her.
Man,
And
I
I'm
don't even
just
remember
like,
that shit now.
exactly, that's what
I
I'm
mean,
talking about. I'm like, what the fuck?
I mean, it is really convoluted, but I like the fact that it's convoluted, so I don't really mind that. But oh well, it is what it
Yeah.
is. I get it. I would, yeah. I don't know. I see what you're saying.
And Ivor is just kind of a passive character. Like I'm just kind of like, this is maybe like the most least impactful main character I've played. Where you're just like he's just so going with the flow. Uh, and it's just a really weird, like, where are they going with this character? Because at first it just seems like they don't.
Exactly. That's kind of
At
why I
the point
lost.
I'm at the game, you don't know what they want to do with this. You can tell they do not know what to do with this character.
Right.
They
And
like
that's
kind of have set some stuff up with his like stepbrother or half brother or adopted brother or whatever. But other than that, it's like I don't understand what they're trying to do with this character, and I don't
100%.
think they know what they're trying to do with this character.
And that's kind of why I bailed on it, because like Odyssey is like this game where it's just funny and shit happens and that character's
Yeah,
integrated with
there's
the
a lot more
world and there's a
passion in
lot of
that
stuff
game.
going on, and like this one's like ho hum, oh I gotta go over here now, and it's just like why do I care about any of this shit? And then
Yeah.
when you have to clear out an area, it becomes you're reliant on the fucking AI so much. It drives me fucking nuts. That drives me nuts. There's some of
Oh.
that shit that drives me nuts. It's like, get over here and help me open this goddamn door. Like
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking
it
about.
says that shit. Like you're sitting there like, let's go. Anyway, yeah. So there's a lot of shit with this game that's like just kind of bonkers to me. But I think the next one is by the Odyssey crew, so it should be more better in that vein. But we'll see.
Oh, okay.
Anywho, sorry guys.
I didn't even know they were flip-flopping with crews in Assassin's Creed. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, because they had the little crew do that recent Assassin's Creed is the old school kind, and it was a smaller team, and then the new big one, open world one, the Jade, Assassin's Creed Jade, is coming next year. So, anyway, sorry for the Assassin's Creed talk. But I haven't been playing anything except Helldivers with you guys, so I'm gonna spend my time with Assassin's Creed. So, thank you, John.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Anything else? We good? Do some couch
Are we gonna
co-optionals?
do what? You remember trivia though, right?
That's after, right?
Okay.
Is that a trick question, John? No,
Well, last week you were like, you guys didn't tell me about trivia.
didn't tell me about it. All right, couch co-optionals. Jared, what you got?
I'm just going to go with my daughter's favorite book series right now called The Wings of Fire.
Wings of Fire.
That's a very popular novel series, and she just can't get enough of it. I think she read all 14 of the main books in like a month and a half,
Have you read them?
and some of the graphic novels. She's all over it. I haven't read any of them, but if you have a young child of approximately the age of 10, they may really appreciate those books too.
All right, cool. How about you, Dave?
I watched a really interesting and fun 70s movie. I was looking at Rolling Stone's like list of 150 great sci-fi movies, and I found one called God Told Me To, and it's just I really enjoyed it. It's about this detective, and people keep on like committing mass killings, and then they tell him God told me to, and then it just goes off the rails from there. So
Okay.
yeah, I don't want to give it away. It's like
Yeah.
it isn't a bunch of psychos. It's that like 60s 70s like paranoia kind of movie.
Is this on a
But I really
service
enjoyed it.
that we know?
It was available for free it was on Amazon Prime was where I watched it, but I think it's on Tubi and a couple of the other ones if you don't have a service that you pay for.
Cool. All right. What was that called again? God told me to.
God told me to.
All right.
Huh.
How about you, Nick DeWin? You got something cool you want to recommend?
Yeah, Road Guy Rob on YouTube. He's kind of just an interesting guy who basically produces videos describing and interviewing people like in the government or just in business where just basically anything road related, like how they're designed or new designs or just all sorts of different road related stuff. I don't know. I found it interesting, and um, like he'll kind of go into some of the history of some different things, and I don't know. You just gotta check it out. I'm not doing it justice, but it's. I mean, it's kind of hard I mean, you don't really think about roads. It's probably just like the thought of thinking about roads may not be the most interesting topic, but I mean, just watching his videos actually makes it so.
And that's Road
And it's
Guy
just
what? Road Guy?
Road Guy Rob.
Road Guy Rob. All right. All
Yeah.
right.
And they're actually well produced videos too.
Has he been doing this for a long time, or is this new?
I think so. Like, I think he's got like videos that are like probably 10 years old on YouTube. And
Interesting.
I think he was like an actual, like he actually worked for a
Like a civil
news station
engineer?
at one point.
News. Okay. No, news guy.
Yeah.
Does he explain why he has such a passion for roads?
I haven't found that yet,
Okay.
but
All right.
I've been watching him for like a couple months now.
Cool. All right. Road Guy Rob. YouTube, baby. Check it out. All right, John, what you got?
I think we watched on Hulu or Max, Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV.
Oh,
So it's a documentary series, 4-part. They're like 45 minutes per episode, but it focuses on Nickelodeon and specifically the show creator Dan Schneider, and pretty much how he would just abuse people on set in terms of like shouting and just being an asshole. And then just kind of like the pressures and abuse and manipulation the kids on Nickelodeon went through, like the cast of all that, or the Amanda Bynes show, Drake and Josh, and then it deals with Nickelodeon. Like we had like serious, like they had like 3 different men who got convicted as sex offenders for pedophilia. So, I mean, sad but very interesting documentary, and I think they do a great job in terms of each episode's 45 minutes, so the episodes go quick, and um, it's a very well paced documentary series.
you guys really like to keep it, real at your household, huh? Just really
Oh,
dour
yeah.
and
Yeah.
uplifting. Cool. The dark side of what is it? Dark side of
Quiet on Set, The
Quiet on
Dark
Set.
Side of Kids TV.
Quiet on Set. You can't do that on TV. Cool. I'm gonna give a little shout out to the new Roadhouse remake on Amazon Prime right now. You can watch it.
Did you watch it already?
Yeah, it's great. I think it's a lot of
Oh,
fun.
okay, cool.
I don't really have a lot of love for the original. The original's pretty campy.
Yeah, I
and-
made the mistake
yeah.
of watching it with my mom once and turned it off after a while.
It's not really that great of a film, and I know people love it. It's an 80s nostalgia trip, but I never really... Even when I was a kid watching my 80s nostalgia movies, that one was never one that really clicked for me. So, I mean, I do like Sam Elliott, and there's some things I like about it, but it's never been a film that I hold close to my heart. So watching this new remake really has nothing to do with the previous one. I mean, the characters has the same name, and he does in fact be a bouncer at a roadhouse, and stuff ensues. But it's not a shot-for-shot remake. It doesn't have the same kind of story, like character-wise.
Nice.
It's a little different. But I really did enjoy it. It's pretty funny. It's directed by Doug Liman. He he's directed a lot of movies, like the what's the one with Tom Cruise, the Live Die Repeat. He did that one, and
Oh, yeah.
Day After Tomorrow or something
Edge of
like
Tomorrow,
that.
Edge of
isn't it?
Tomorrow, and he did like Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I mean, he's a good director. He's made a lot of great movies. So this is actually a really well made movie. So I
How
recommend-
was Conor McGregor?
He's perfect.
This is
Actually,
his,
he
like,
fits his
first
role is
movie?
perfect. Like they're not actually. I mean, he does a lot, but he's not asked to really do much except just kind of be an
Gotcha.
asshole, and it's great. He does a pretty good job at that. So he's fun.
Have you seen like him in the interviews for doing the publicity for
Yeah, I saw
the
that.
movie?
Like he's like
Yeah.
got some issues, and like he has like head trauma or something. Like he's like a totally different person in those interviews
Well,
versus
there's always been a lot of accusations that he's like a huge coke guy.
I don't
so
doubt it, but I mean anyway, you wouldn't the person you're seeing in those interviews is not how he is in the film. So they do a really good job of, if he was doing that, they managed that really well. So anyway, but yeah, I recommend it. And you guys all have it if you have Amazon Prime. So Yeah. Okay. Jared, hit us up with some sick ass trivia.
Well,
I don't
so
have any.
earlier I mentioned the PS2 came out forever ago this month. What were all those weird towers and squares that would show up on the loading screen? No,
I don't know.
no guesses. You know, when you load up, there's all those towers that would show up, all the kind of cool shapes that would pop out.
I guess there was like flying stuff.
No, it was like kind of like weird
Yeah, I thought it was-
towery kind of
I don't
things.
think like
Yeah,
towers. I just think it's kind of
triangle,
like
square, circle
yeah,
thing,
that was
but-
like the whole PlayStation.
Yeah, so
Been so long.
yeah,
I could boot it
all right.
up.
Oh, I think Nick might have a
Oh,
PlayStation
Oh, I
Are
got a
you-
race.
turning it on. Okay.
and a TV. Look at that TV.
Oh, tube.
Does this even work?
Oh,
Don't make me
oh
do it.
man, that tube's just flashing, huh? Darn.
Oh, he's got it on the wrong input.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Oh, there
Do
we
you
go.
mean
I see.
the cube stuff, Jared?
Well,
like,
he's loading it right
It's
now.
a cloud with lights.
Those,
Oh yeah.
the towers.
There's not
I don't know what
towers.
they're meant
Yeah.
to be.
What are they?
Those aren't towers.
So it's reading your memory card, and those are your save files. And the taller they are means you've played that game more.
I never knew that. That
Oh,
is
that's
some
pretty cool.
trivia. That is
Towers.
kind of cool.
It was
It's,
just on the screen, bruh.
If you've not
There's
got a
stuff.
memory card in your
Ian, look.
PlayStation, Ian, you're not going to get them.
Yeah, if you don't have a memory card in, it doesn't do
Oh,
anything.
yeah, I don't have a memory card. It's just like
you
clouds.
just-
Yeah, so if there's no memory card, there's no towers.
Okay.
It's
So
this
then
stuff.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So watch Nick's screen there. Pretty cool. He has save files. Oh no, he took his memory card
So he
out.
doesn't have a memory card either.
Oh, yeah, just
He does. He just took it out.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's like
so that's
it boots up with
a
just
pretty
clouds and
neat little
lights.
thing. Yeah, I mean, I heard a long time ago that it was like save files, but I didn't know they would get taller if you played those games more.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
So
never
that's pretty cool.
never put two and two together as to what that was.
Well, there you go. That's the trivia of it all right there, baby. Bitty,
Yeah.
bitty.
Trivia.
Fascinating. Oh, I watched this fascinating thing. Did I post it? Someone took all of the PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, hooked them all to a television, and then started them with a timer.
You did
The
post it.
PS2 is still the fastest to launch.
Like putting a game in and starting
Wow.
it.
Starting it,
from,
it loads the
just
quickest
booting.
out of all of
Yeah.
them. It's crazy.
Without being in standby mode.
Anyway. All right.
Yeah, so that was pretty neat video.
Let's get us out of here. I want to thank you all for listening and remind you to leave feedback at thecouchcoopshow@gmail.com. But you probably won't. You can also find us on our socials at Couch Co-op Shows, all one word, no hyphen. I want to thank Jared, Dave, Nick for showing up, and John for joining me here on the couch. For Couch Co-op, I'm Ian, reminding you to please be excellent to each other. Jesus Christ.
Wild Stallions.
Couch Co-op is full of douchebags.